Hi guys, welcome back to Ash Talks Basketball, and today we're doing the player I'm most interested in from every NBA team this upcoming season. It may be for they've missed the season and I want to see how they'll impact the team. They've just got traded there, they're a young player improving, or I just really want to know if how they'll do in the season, if they'll do badly, if they do well, and how that will impact their team. So with that being said, let's move on to the video. For the Lakers, I chose Kendrick Nunn. You may be saying, with a team with the most drama in the NBA, you chose a bench player. Personally, I really want to see how he'll develop. Apparently, he might be starting, and I think he's been given a big role on the Lakers because they believe in him, and I really believe in him too. He was good on Miami. He gets traded to the Lakers. He kind of has an off season with a bit of injuries, but I think he'll come in and be a good player for the Lakers trying to push for a playoff spot. For the Warriors, I have a pretty obvious pick. It's James Wiseman. He was the second pick in the 2020 NBA draft. He played one season. It was pretty disappointing and pretty injury riddled. He didn't play this season, and all the players on the Warriors think he's going to be a really big part of their team, and I'm happy to see how he'll go there. I think he'll be a good big defensive piece, and he'll be starting. I think all the players have faith in him, and in the preseason he's been doing pretty well. I know you can't really trust the preseason, but as long as he's healthy, he's going, he's moving, and he's not afraid of the court anymore, or I have a lot of faith in him doing really well. For the Boston Celtics, I have Malcolm Brogdon. He didn't play at all last season, and he'll be coming back for the first time since 2020-2021 season. And I think he'll be pretty good. He may not be getting a starting spot, but he could just be that dagger off the bench that scores and really just plays his part and gets a lot of points against other people, other bench players, and can be a really big energizer, scorer, dagger type player off the bench for the Boston Celtics. The Chicago Bulls, I chose Ayo Dosunmu. I really think this is his season to really show that he's a really valuable player. Lonzo Ball's injured and Alex Caruso will be back, but I think he might get a starting spot or even sixth man because either he will start or Alex Caruso will start, and he'll get a lot more minutes and he'll be able to show how good he is. And if he's going to show that he's a starter player or a player that's going to get big money, he has to do it now. And I'm really excited to see him play this season. For Cleveland, I chose Darius Garland. I know a lot of people would think I would have chosen Donovan Mitchell, but it's kind of not how Donovan Mitchell will adjust to it. It's kind of how Darius Garland will adjust to it. Darius Garland has really grown and adjusted to this roster, and now he's going to have to adjust to working with Donovan Mitchell. If it works really well, they could be fourth, third seed in the East. If it goes badly, they could be a play-in team. I personally don't think it will go badly, and I have a lot of faith in this team being pretty good this season. For the Detroit Pistons, I chose Cade Cunningham. A lot of potential in Cade Cunningham, and I want to see how he'll progress through this season. I think he'll be pretty good, and he'll be the best player on Detroit, and he gets to really learn how to be the primary scorer on a team and use that and learn to be a primary scorer, unlike players who are on a roster where they're not the best player in their rookie season. And he really gets to learn how to be the best player so he can be the best player later on. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I chose Brook Lopez. You may be thinking, this is a lazy-ass pick. You could have picked anybody else, but you picked Brook Lopez. No, this is a legitimate pick. He hasn't played all season. That hurt the Milwaukee Bucks. And I want to see how the Milwaukee Bucks will do with a genuine center playing for them. not genuine centre, their normal centre playing for them, and how far they'll go. I personally think they'll go to the NBA Finals. I think there's no team that will stop them, but there's still people like the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia that could give them trouble, especially if injuries rock their roster. For the Philadelphia 76ers, I chose James Harden. I chose him because he is will be the big reason if they win a championship. He needs to play really, really well. I could have chosen Tyrese Maxey because he's a young and up-and-coming player, but if they're bad, it's going to be on James Harden. If they're good, James Harden's going to play well. So how good they're going to be is kind of dependent on James Harden. For the Atlanta Hawks, I chose DeJounte Murray. I think it's going to be really interesting how DeJounte Murray adjusts to Trae Young and how they adjust to each other. If it goes really badly, they could be out of the play-in. If it goes really well, I think they could be up to 6th seed. It's a really strong East, and in pretty much any other year, they would have an opportunity to be top 4 in the East. For the Houston Rockets, I chose Jabari Smith Jr. It'll be interesting on how they'll fit him into the roster, how he'll do as a rookie. A lot of people are saying that he had a pretty bad summer league and Keegan Murray's going to run away with the Rookie of the Year. And it's really hard for Jabari Smith Jr. because if he has a really bad rookie season, he's just going to get a lot of hate. He's going to lose minutes. He's going to lose a lot of confidence. So he really needs to push the precedent that he is a good NBA player. He's going to be really good for the Rockets, and he's going to be a generational player, and he has to do that now. For the Wizards, I chose Kristaps Porzingis. He hasn't had a full season in his career ever. He's played little games recently, and he really needs to prove himself as New York Knicks Kristaps. And if he proves himself as injured Dallas Mavericks, gonna play 0 games a season, Kristaps Porzingis, that's gonna be a problem, and that's gonna kind of put his career down. And not that he's gonna be in any trades, his trade value down, just to put it as a precedent. For the Toronto Raptors, I obviously picked Scotty Barnes. I think there's been a lot of pressure put on Scotty Barnes. He wins the Rookie of the Year, and now a lot of people are hoping for a lot of improvement, and that's putting a lot of pressure on him. And I'm going to find it interesting to see how he's going. And most important, and for me, as a Raptors fan, it's going to be really important on how good he is this season, and that could change the fate of the Raptors being a 7th seed in the play-in, or, I know this sounds biased as heck, in the 5th or 4th seed in the East. For the Miami Heat, I chose Tyler Hero. I think he's going to be starting this season, and it's a big step for him, and I want to see how he goes with this. There's not much to say with it. There's going to be a lot of improvement, hopefully a lot of improvement from him, and maybe 25 points per game would put him in All-Star talks. For the Dallas Mavericks, I chose Spencer Dinwiddie. It's going to be a big role for him. I think he'll be stepping into the starting lineup, and he's going to be trying to replace what Jalen Brunson was. And if it goes well and he has a breakout season, that's going to put the Mavs really high in the West, and they're going to be a scary team. Christian Wood, I have a bit of faith in, and he was probably going to take this spot. And if he does well, that's going to be a Mavs team that possibly goes to the second round, but a really strong West might push them down to 6th or even a play-in spot if they do badly and don't mesh well. For the Brooklyn Nets, I chose Ben Simmons. He's coming back from a world of hate, drama, injuries, all the stuff that could really derail a career. But he's came back, he looks good, and if he can prove himself as one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, that could really help his case. As long as he doesn't get any more drama around him, he shoots maybe a 3 or 2 and makes one of them, it should be good for them. And I think the Brooklyn Nets could be really good this season off the back of Ben Simmons' defense. Thanks for watching the video, and if you have any opinions about the video, please tell me in the comments. And with that being said, thanks for watching the video, and have a nice day.